Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Mac League and halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go. Play. They come in off the very rare tie a game ago.
And it'll be interesting to see what their mindset is going into this game. Sometimes that can be a deflator, and sometimes that can just really make you mad and more determined the next time out.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, it's been all systems go in this first month. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This will be taken very short, and they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 10th-year quarterback. This is his first season in his 30s. 30-year-old out of Georgia. It's Matthew Stafford.
One thing you ask for from your quarterback, improvement each and every season. You also ask for consistency. Matthew Stafford, 7 straight years over 4,000 yards passing. He's still looking for that initial playoff victory during his tenure, but I think that he's been leading them towards it and has a chance to get it in the upcoming future.
This is the newest member of the Lion backfield, LeGarrette Blount. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. We'll take a look at the starters here defensively for the Packers. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Now a play fake it at Stafford. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. As we get a peek at Brett Hundley, the former UCLA Bruin, he'll be the man under center.
And what a performance he is coming off of. I know that this is a different era of football where we're throwing it around a heck of a lot more, but still, over 500 yards passing.
500.
That's phenomenal, incredible. Let's see if he can take last week's game and carry it forward and have another similar performance.
Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. And this offensive unit should have a lot of juice coming off the big output that they had 1 week ago.
Nothing like confidence, is there? When you've played well the week before, you can't wait to get back on the field and do it again.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Throwing, Hundley. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 60 yards. A big play like that looks familiar, doesn't it? Like we saw it a week ago, reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Nothing wrong with being explosive. Nothing wrong with being electric. Nothing wrong with carrying it over from the previous week off to a really, really hot start.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. 1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. And fights through one man. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. And now the Lions defensive starters.
Finishing in the top 10 in the NFL with 12 sacks last year was Ziggy Ansah, and I just absolutely love his backstory. Went to BYU to run track, maybe play some basketball. Instead discovered a game he had never played before, American football. And now look at him, a perennial double-digit sack guy in the league.
Let's go! Brand 38!
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now Hundley. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I think that's a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because Point's not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And Detroit getting set to go now. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it here with Blount. And Blount loses the football. And this is going to be Packer.
He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go.
And off comes to Montgomery. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. Just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. They'll set up to throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Ziggy Ansah. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now a carry for Blount. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
And, Charles, a couple extra defensive backs in here on 3rd and 1.
Not expecting them to run it at all.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Set.
Here's Blount. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
You ready? You ready?
blown. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 40.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the penalty erases their earlier loss. Now it's 2nd and 8.
Set. 180. Hot. Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A give. This is Montgomery. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Stafford completing it here to Marvin Jones. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Here we go. Set. Waiting.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Oh, incomplete. but the rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Lets this one rip toward Graham. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Oh, man, that was close.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Eluding the pressure right. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? Third and short, they elect to throw for it. And that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on third and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. The Lions on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Play action. Stafford. And incomplete here on 3rd down. Some mistakes already in the first quarter. If he holds on to that one, 1st down.
Yeah, and I guarantee you that at least one defensive back out there has reminded him of that fact, trying to get into his head and hoping that'll affect him the rest of the game.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Ty Montgomery and the rest of his offensive mates to take over. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll drop the throw, and this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A very solid gain of 27.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make the play on the football.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. And he's got some space here. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They start on the ground here with Blount. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. It's complete to Golden Tate. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The numbers for Tate in last week's game, 10 catches, 132 yards.
And you know what he did all week in preparation for this one? Hydrated.
Salivated.
Yes, stretched, dreamed, going against the last team in the league against the pass.
Yeah.
He expects to catch every one thrown today.
You're right. They have struggled 32 of 32 in that category. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Muhammad Wilkerson elevated a tempo program that was looking for players like him, and he's carried that on into the NFL. What a terrific play there.
Yeah, a nice tackle for loss for the former Temple Owl, as you said, and the 30th pick in the 2011 draft. To throw is Stafford. And that is incomplete. Kenny Golladay is intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game's kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome. But both teams practice this situation, and this time the guys on offense won, and in a very nice way. What a run from that position on their own goal line.
Gave them some good breathing room.
I wonder now, do you still stack the line of scrimmage, or do you play normal defense? They may have backed him off with that run.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
So that last play gives him a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Come on, let's go!
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he whips that one incomplete there. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. 2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
Looking to throw. Buying time to his left. Muscles him off. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
On the carry, it's Montgomery. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. He was brought down by Devon Kennard. And what in the world? Not sure if he just heard a whistle there or what, but for some reason he spiked the football. The Packers on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
Well, they started that drive all the way back at the 1, able to march down, get 3.
It was daunting to begin with, wasn't it? But I thought overall, a very poised and efficient drive to get 3 points.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, we keep stats on everything, don't we? This is one that you don't want to have. That's his second drop right here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I was going to say, only in the first quarter. Certainly a shift that he wants to right quickly. Now here's the first carry for Ameer Abdullah. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've hit the end of quarter one. Plenty of scoring here already. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And that is incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive. And he's going to profess that he was happy to get points.
But
and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
They run, Montgomery. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now at a 3rd and 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right side. He's got a man. Complete.
If he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. Montgomery able to spin free. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Ty Montgomery, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball, too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Crosby on now to kick it away. The return man here, T.J. Jones. So here come the Lions now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between...
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Here's Stafford. It's brought in left side by Tate. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
It's a nifty return of 29 yards, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. On the ground, it's Montgomery, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
On second down, Williams. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there. A
pair of negative running plays, and now they're looking up at a third down at 17 to go. They'll set up a throw. And Davis with it left side. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to fourth down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And Crosby puts it through, and that will stretch the lead to 3 scores now at 19-0. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah. Isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Back out for another drive comes LeGarrette Blount. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul-searching now.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The 6-time Pro Bowler, Clay Matthews. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Stafford now to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. 3rd and long, it's Stafford. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. This is taken at the 15. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now Hundley. Wide open receiver complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Stays on his feet. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Throwing, Hundley. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick. But instead it falls down incomplete.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
They go back to the ground with Williams. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Lots of plays on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll look to throw here. And that'll be incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
All right, everybody in the house had to figure that was going to be a 1-yard plunge. I know I was fooled. How about you?
Absolutely. I had to readjust my eyes when it was a play fake. Good job defensively, though, to not bite.
Too bad that didn't end the series. They still have to hold in there.
On play action, they'll throw. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now Mason Crosby for the Packers field goal try. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
You ready? Waiting.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to T.J. Jones that time, and it's 3rd and short. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That one good for 15 and a first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how he, one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him. How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Check, set, go waiting.
To the air again, Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Green Bay up to the task there in coverage and forcing a fourth down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good, and that'll get the deficit back to 16. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll get this up to about the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 24. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd and long. Stafford. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. A big kick that time, 52 yards. So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
He'll look to throw. It's caught outright by Graham. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. Room here to run. And he spins through, and he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Caught on the right side by Adams. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Cool under pressure right. They're escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Ezekiel Ansah in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Looking to throw. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Crosby puts it through, and that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. Now Jones. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Out of the gun, Stafford. A dump off for Abdullah. Call it a pickup of 7, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
And it's taken in at the 9. A great return there of 22 yards. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. Out to his left. Oh, that was dangerous. Throw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 14. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. They'll throw now on the final play. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll start up at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo. And it's the Titans on top as that one draws close to halftime. Derrick Henry has a touchdown run. From there, we'll head to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan, 4 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. Blake Bortles, 4 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. Trevor Davis now to return. And he'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40.
about trotting out there the Packers getting ready to go. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. He'll look to throw. That is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for it. Here's Williams. Oh, and they had it stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The setup a throw. Flushed out right. On the run. He'll let this. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Geronimo Allison, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. Crosby on now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10.
180.
On 3rd down, Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. On the move to his left. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
It's almost gotten to the point in the NFL where 3rd down is a throwing down, no matter what the distance. It just feels that way. So how about the discipline there by the defense? Understanding, reading their keys. They run the ball on 3rd down. They don't just handle it with technique and stay at home, but they become disruptors, actually getting back there, making a big play, big loss, and now they flip the balance of the field for their team.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And his throw here is incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Stafford under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. From the gun, here's Stafford. And this is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
But depending on the team, they call that an explosive play or a chunk play, the one that they got on the previous one. They tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that 2nd attempt. On 1st down, Abdullah fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Throwing is Stafford. This is screen to Abdullah. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Taken in at the 22. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a handoff. Here's Williams. They find some open field here. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves to James. Throwing, Hundley. Flush to his right. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset. Defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And just shy of the goal line. As he's out of bounds right at the 1. This offense #1 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers are pouring it on.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front, giving him at least a stalemate in order to find that space?
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't they? Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Crosby on now to kick it away. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think
right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Here's Stafford. And he completes it to Wilson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for Lions first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he's going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you try to have a few men in the box there.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. And his throw is incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 18 yards there and a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
12 more yards there and another first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
That's going to go as a... Loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
4 down, 4 down. Set. Yellow 20.
And they'll run it here. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Set. 180.
To throw on third down, Stafford. And Wilson has it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal.
Set. 260.
They run. Abdullah. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Amir Abdullah, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Extra point good by Prater, and that will cut this lead down to 25. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it's Amir Abdullah that finishes it off with a touchdown run. Returnable here for Davis. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails, because they had it going pretty good last time too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
On 3rd down, it's Williams. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. On the return, it's Tate. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And Detroit getting set to go now. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
The drive starts with a handoff to Blunt. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. A 2nd down run for Abdullah. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big gain of 38 there on 3rd down.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this. But run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. It's a big play there for the Lions. 46 yards.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense can often result in a big...
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Vince Beagle in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, surprise, surprise. First and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decide to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
He's going to get it running right. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. LeGarrette Blount, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead.
When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an out.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Ziggy Ansah able to disrupt yet another pass play, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now Hundley. Dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Good job by this defense, and now playing what they call complementary football. Offense scores a touchdown for them, so they come right out, force what should be a 3-and-out, and keep the momentum squarely on their side.
Now it's Tate. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field.
They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball that cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker. Right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Now it's Stafford. And this one is incomplete. Kenny Golladay, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because like him is going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd. Down. Throwing on 3rd and long. Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And that one results in 35 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So both offenses come to life here in this 3rd quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
On 3rd down, Abdullah. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Now carry number 20 of the game. Here's Williams. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. He'll drop to throw. Rolling to his left. Fighting to stay upright. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
On 3rd down, that's Williams. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. But that was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Detroit getting set to go now. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback, but when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Stafford now to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Touchdown, Packers. Geronimo Allison with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Fielded about a yard deep. Fights him off. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Set. 180.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. Wide open receiver complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
And they pick up the first down on a fourth down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stopped them on third down or if they just didn't protect the sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
On first down, Stafford here. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with two straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. They're going to run it with Abdullah. And Abdullah lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football. And they're going to come up empty here on fourth down.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And shutting him off, now open field. Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are, and now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. They'll try to run it in with Abdullah. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Packer defense stands tall down by the goal line. And that time they went with a fade on 4th and goal. Did not work out.
Now, how do you feel about that type of a call? Because I've been with you long enough. I don't think the fade route in that situation is one of your favorites.
I just think you're putting yourself into a corner. You don't have any margin for error, right?
I agree with you totally. You tend to run out of... Real estate, you've got to make sure you run that route so well that you're allowed to fade and catch the football and come down in bounds. I think that's one of the reasons we've seen the fade stop come into play so well, because now it's a little bit more of an easy throw.
He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let it go. And got his man, complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 62 yards. So forget about any talk of possible safeties. Here's 1st and 10, clear on the other side of the field. On the ground, this is Williams. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Glover Quinn there on the stop.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Check me out. We got 3 down. We got to stand up over there. Mike's by 4. Mike's by 4. Mike's by 4. Go. Go.
Looking to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 23 yards on the play. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead.
And the second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Packers continue to roll. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Crosby on now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. His big day receiving just keeps getting bigger. He's over 200 yards now on the afternoon. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And this is going to be Packer football. And I don't know that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point. But being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, and what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays, really hurts the team on defense.
Back to throw. Forced out to his left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Devon Kennard in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They'll look to throw here. And Adams has it complete. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now Williams. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now. And here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. On 3rd down, that's Williams. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And now they're not going to get the kickoff in time. And that will make this a more difficult prospect. That's going to set them back 5 yards. Now Mason Crosby for the Packers field goal try. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, it's still a good-sized lead, so they haven't necessarily needed him, but this is now 2 missed field goals for him in this game so far.
Yeah, and the question now is, will he be prepared when they do need him? Whether that's later in this game or sometime down the line.
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And the pressure gets to him again. Montravius Adams in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
He completes it to Jones. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that type of a number. Fantastic job, fantastic performance, and he's going to have to ice up his arm afterwards, too.
The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Devon Kennard in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
This defense can use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing, Hundley, sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because if you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Set. Blue 60.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
I got 15. Set. Blue 80.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. On 3rd down, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Fighting through, and he's got space. And he won't go down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
We got three, fellas. We got
That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The former Pro Bowler Glover Quinn there making the play.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to Go for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Williams. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a fourth down. Now Mason Crosby for the Packers field goal try. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. And it's hard to hold a kick from this distance against him. But that is now 3 misses for him in the game so far.
3! And you wonder where his head's at right now. Kickers are a funny breed, but I have a feeling he'd love to see a 29-yarder next time to get him back in the groove.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. To get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Over the middle here to Wilson. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now this is fielded in the end zone. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. And now the Packers get set to go. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
So another catch, more yards, and now enough yards to break the single-game record.
It seemed inevitable the way this game went that the yards record would fall, and we got to see it. We got to witness it, and the crowd is so excited to watch another NFL record fall.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride is kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Being chased out left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Packers, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they fall to defeat for the second time this